This show is for women who train harder, think bigger, and live bolder. Here, we don't level up. We set the standard. Strength, strategy, success. I'm Katie Fleece. Welcome to The Smoke Show. What's up, Smoke Shows? Today's episode is a wake-up call to the woman who's got big goals, but keeps letting herself off the damn hook. All right? I see you. I see you crushing it in your career. I see you showing up for everyone else. I see you with your cute little, color-coded calendar. But then I also see you doing 10-minute random workouts on random Tuesdays, wandering around the gym, having no plan, having no idea what's going on or what you're trying to accomplish with your body. I see you scrolling on Instagram and YouTube for hours on end, trying to piece things together on your own. All right. Here's what I need you to know. All right. You need a plan. You need a schedule. You need a system that holds you accountable when your motivation bails on you, because we all know it doesn't last forever. It is going to bail. All right. It is flaky AF, because motivation shows up when she feels like it, when she, is in the moment. But the moment things get uncomfortable, well, where does she go? Okay. So that is where discipline comes in. And discipline is devotion. And in a world full of chaos, that energy is so freaking sexy. So we're going to break down why discipline is magnetic, how to make it feel good instead of feel like punishment, and exactly how to build systems that help you stay more disciplined. Because the same woman who leads the boardrooms, who negotiates all of these big deals, who has systems and processes for literally everything in her business, she shouldn't be the one out here doing, little random workouts that she finds on Pinterest, or only doing workouts when she feels like it and calling that a plan. That ain't a plan, okay? And I know that's not you, so don't let that be you. The same woman who would never show up to an important meeting unprepared is showing up in this area of her life without a plan for her health, her energy, her body, her goals. Do you see the disconnect there? There's a gap, and it just doesn't make logical sense. You're giving away your power to your moods instead of your systems. And if you're a woman like me, we all know the moods might be all over the place. You're putting your goals at the mercy of how you feel, which is never a good thing. All right. You don't run your business that way. You don't run your business based on whatever you feel motivated to do that day. You don't show up to important meetings only when you feel like it. No, you show up because you have to, because people are counting on you to be there. Okay. You have systems that hold you when your feelings are all over. Okay. So why are you treating your body that way? The vessel that literally carries you through life, the thing that is keeping you alive. Why are you treating your body like that? Because motivation is a feeling, okay? And feelings, we all know, are temporary. And motivation shows up when you're inspired, when everything aligns perfectly. But what happens when life throws you a curveball, or you have a bad day, or you oversleep? What happens when you're tired? What happens when you don't feel like it? That's a good one. That's one I hear all the time. Motivation is like literally nowhere to be found, okay? Discipline doesn't abandon you. Discipline shows up on the days when you don't feel like it. It keeps the promises you made when you were feeling strong. Okay. But it also keeps the promises you made, especially when you're feeling weak. Your body responds to consistency. Your energy responds to systems. Your strength responds to showing up, even or especially when you don't feel like it. So let's talk about what makes discipline so magnetic. Because quite honestly, I think we've actually got this completely backwards. We think that structure equals restriction. We think that having a plan means we're being rigid or we're missing out on things that we love. Girl, let me tell you, the sexiest energy in the room is when you keep your word to yourself. That is magnetic. When you're someone who does what she says she's gonna do, when you follow through, not just for other people, but for herself, for yourself, people notice. You notice. You notice subconsciously. When you have that quiet confidence that comes from knowing that you can count on yourself, it changes how you move through the world and navigate whatever situation comes at you. It changes how you negotiate. It changes how you show up in relationships. It changes how you take risks in your business. Because when you trust yourself completely, when you know that you're a woman that's going to follow through on commitments to yourself, guess what? You can take bigger swings. You can bet on yourself in ways that maybe other people can't. Here's why disciplined women are they're different, okay? First, they eliminate decision fatigue, okay? You make thousands of micro decisions every single day. Every time you have to decide whether you're going to work out today, whether you're gonna eat the thing that makes you feel really good in your body, you're using up that precious mental energy, okay? And we all know we don't have a lot of that to spare. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? But when you have those non-negotiables, those decisions, they're already made. So you don't think about it because you're just the woman that does those things naturally. And your brain can focus on all of the other things that it's got to focus on, okay? Hey, it's Katie Fleece, head of the female division of Superhuman and your host here on Smoke Show. Listen, if you've been waiting for a sign to go after your strongest, fittest, hottest body, this is it. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need anyone else's permission. It's time to claim the body and the life you deserve. Go to smokeshowbody.com and take the first step toward building the ultimate version of you. Now back to the show. Second, they have more capacity. When your health is handled, okay, when you're really taking care of yourself, when your energy is up to par, when your body feels strong, when your body feels reliable, when you know you can count on your body, you have so much more capacity for everything else. You show up differently to everything. Third, they stop negotiating with themselves daily. You have to stop this constant internal dialogue about what you should do. You know what you're doing because, well, again, you've already decided. Now, let me show you exactly how to build this kind of discipline in a way that feels good and not restrictive, okay? Step 1, reframe discipline as devotion. Like I said, when most people hear the term discipline, they think punishment, right? But I would argue real discipline is actually love. It's how you show respect for the woman that you're becoming. When you work out, even when you don't feel like it, you're not punishing your body. You're protecting it. You're continuing to build it. You're protecting your confidence, your ability to show up. And not just show up, but show up like the woman that you want to be. When you choose foods that make you feel amazing, you're not depriving yourself. You're protecting what you know or how you know it's going to make you feel, your energy, your mental clarity, your ability to perform at your highest level. Step 2, build systems and stop operating on willpower. Willpower is fleeting, okay? You've got to stop relying on motivation and start building structure into your days that doesn't negotiate with your feelings. So here's what I want you to do. Pick 3 non-negotiables for your week. Just 3. You don't need 100, okay? Maybe it's something as simple as like, hey, look, I'm going to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And on those days, I don't have to make the decision on whether or not I'm going to work out. Those are just my days. I know if it's a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, that's what my day is going to look like. Maybe it's committing to getting, 8 hours of sleep every night, Monday through Thursday. Whatever it is, make it so clear that there's just no room for interpretation. Okay? Step 3, attach your discipline to your identity, not to your goals. Okay? What do I mean by that? I mean, don't work out because you want to lose weight. Work out because you're the type of woman who keeps her commitments to herself. Don't eat well because you want to fit into a certain dress before your, class reunion. Eat well because you're just someone who treats her body with respect. You're someone who fuels her body the way it was intended to be fueled, okay? When your actions are tied to who you are instead of what you want, they then become non-negotiable, okay? All right, step 4, moving on, make it a practice, not a prison. Discipline is not about being perfect, okay? It's about being consistent. It's about showing up when it's messy. Even when you don't do it perfectly, even when you're only able to give 60% that day. Well, guess what? 60% is better than 0%. 20% is better than 0%. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need to get more motivated. You need to get more married to the woman that you're becoming. Because motivation, think of it this way. Motivation is like having a crush, okay? It's exciting in the beginning. It makes you feel all the feels, right? It makes you feel empowered and have hope for what's possible. But guess what? We all know those crushes, they don't last. You can't build a life on butterflies alone. But commitment is what happens after the butterflies fade, okay? It's showing up when it's boring, okay? It's choosing the same thing over and over and over again, especially when you don't want to. That's the kind of energy I want you to bring to your relationship with discipline, okay? Not because you have to, not because someone is making you, but because you're devoted to the woman who has everything she wants. You're devoted to the woman who is living the life of her dreams, okay? And that woman keeps her promises to herself. She honors her commitments. She shows up consistently, not just conveniently. She doesn't betray herself in small little ways and then wonder why she doesn't have trust with herself. Okay, she does trust herself because she keeps those commitments. All right, so what's your next move? Here's what I want you to do, okay? Pick one area where you've been letting yourself off the hook. One area where you keep saying, and it's probably going to be pretty easy to pick out. One area where you keep saying, oh, I'll start Monday, or I'll start when things slow down. That's one of my favorites. Or when I have more time. Girlfriend, come on. We know that's not a real thing, okay? Pick one non-negotiable. One thing that you're going to do this week, no matter what. Okay? No matter what. Not because conditions are perfect. Guess what? You're going to be waiting a long time, okay? But because you're practicing being someone who keeps her word to herself, Okay. And watch how that energy starts showing up in every other area of your life. Discipline is sexy. All right. It's hot, as Paris Hilton would say. I think that's hot. Okay. Discipline's hot. All right. That's all I got today. Hey, thanks for being here. Share this episode with a friend. Tag me. I want to hear from you. As always, I love to hear your feedback and if it spoke to you. And I will see you next time on The Smoke Show. Stay strong, stay strategic, stay unapologetic. This is Smoke Show.